Good evening, Lake Orion. Hope you're having an enjoyable weekend. Hey, there's the intro.
Yeah.
Hey, not yet, though. I'm Ian Witherspoon. I'm your host, and I am Between Taorminas. Oh, yes, indeed. There we are, camera 2. How's everybody? You guys good?
Tired.
You're tired?
Yeah.
You're tired every time.
I
Why
just
you
got
so
out of
tired?
exams.
What exam did you have today?
Well, I didn't have one. I had one yesterday.
You just got out of exams 24 hours ago and you're still tired?
Yeah.
What kind of exam was it?
Well, it's not easy. Politics exam.
Oh, man.
I don't have to worry about exams anymore. Woohoo!
Yeah, you're a graduate.
Yes.
Wow.
That I am. Woo! Woo!
You don't act like a graduate, but somehow you are. So are you confident? You think you did well?
No.
No? Huh. Been stressing a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, take it easy, all right? Okay. You guys want to let loose a little bit, talk a little sports?
See what we got, you know?
See what we got. See what we got. We got a lot of good stuff coming up today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little MLB chatter in the beginning, possibly some NFL talk next, and then we'll hit
Lake Orion.
little Lake Orion Dragons.
And then there are typical calls.
We're not talking football, though. That's
Right.
interesting. All right, so let's get into baseball. Little hot stove. Ooh, can you feel it? Oh, yeah, off-season's underway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it seems there's a couple kind of.
Couple
it seems
Central
like
Division
seems like
teams making
people in the
moves.
Central are proactive right now. You know, last week you look at Ben Revere and Denard Span were both shipped out of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The Windians, they got Mark Reynolds.
Since Chu
They got Drew Stubbs from Cincinnati.
Okay, where did Chu go?
He went to
Cincinnati.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. When did that happen?
That happened like yesterday.
Oh man, wow.
Then Kansas City made some moves today, too.
Kansas City's been making the most aggressive moves.
That's true.
And when you look at it, they have a lot of young offensive talent and defensive talent, and they were lacking pitching.
Well, Kansas City's had to adjust what they needed. They addressed the starting pitching. Irvin Santana, I don't understand that move. And then Wade
Kansas City move.
Davis and James Shields was very interesting because James Shields was Tampa's number 3 starting pitcher, and Wade Davis.
Wait, James Shields?
Yeah,
Wasn't he 2?
Wasn't he number 3 in the Cy Young?
he was third.
Shields? No, Verlander was 2.
Yeah, Verlander was 2.
Yeah, but he was in there that conversation.
Was
But
James Shields? It was David Price.
in 2011, excuse me, Shields was in that conversation. He did have a
Potentially.
perfect game. Yeah, he
He
did have
didn't
a perfect.
he didn't have a perfect game.
Oh, no hitter, excuse me, against the Tigers.
That was
One
Matt
game.
Garza.
That was
Oh, sorry.
Garza.
Yeah. But James Shields was a pretty much bona fide number 2.
Yeah, if you look at, I think it's an interesting move for Kansas City that they got.
Very interesting.
Because, do I think that, I think it's a direct move that to counter the Tigers, maybe.
Well, that's when you look at what they needed. That's what they needed, pitching.
Well, also, too, you look at the Tigers have been the dominant team the last 2 years in the Central. So, if you look at it, the Tigers are the team to beat in the Central. So
Right.
teams like Kansas City, teams like Cleveland, and also Minnesota are going to make those moves. Chicago had a pretty good season last year despite them losing Euclid to New York. But nonetheless, the Tigers are clearly the team to beat right now in the Central.
They definitely are marked men. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of people playing their best games against the Tigers.
Oh, I agree. And there was some of those last year.
The Royals definitely seem to have the Tigers
For some
number a lot.
reason, Kansas City's always played the Tigers tough. It's
really have.
something you don't understand.
Yeah.
You got to look at a lot of people that got Kansas City, I know, is very excited for the season to start.
But weren't they like that last
But
year?
they were like that
Yeah.
last year, and look what happened to them. I
Yeah.
mean, it could happen again. A lot of people hype up how good Kansas City's bullpen is. I think Kansas City's bullpen, besides Soria, is very suspect
Is he even
right
coming
now.
back?
I don't know if he is coming back.
They got a lot of young flamethrowers. They got a lot of young guys who can pitch 95 and above coming out of their bullpen.
The thing about Kansas City is that you never know what to expect out of them. I mean,
Right.
and you expect a lot. I think that Kansas City, they could have a good year, but do I think that they're it's going to be enough to win the AL Central? No.
You know, you got to look at people like Eric Hosmer. Remember his 2011 was really good. And
Yeah.
He was,
He had a down year in 2012.
he had a very bad year. Does he come back? You know, he's a young guy.
Hosmer's the key, I think, for Kansas City because
Yeah.
if you look at it, I mean, like, because you got Hosmer in that lineup, you got Billy Butler in that lineup, you know.
Alex Gordon.
Alex Gordon, you know, those are their three big bats over there in Kansas City.
Even Alcides Escobar is a good top order guy.
But also you got to look at, do I think they could challenge the likes of Verlander, Pfister, and Scherzer on a consistent basis? I don't know.
I don't really see it. And do you think they could challenge the Tigers lineup?
No.
You know, especially 1 through 5.
I just don't see that happening because you look at the Tigers hitters on down. You got Jackson, you got Cabrera, you got Fielder, you got
Hunter.
Victor,
Don't forget Torrey Hunter.
Torrey Hunter. I
Right.
mean, that's a sick lineup.
And especially if people like Avila and Peralta play like they did in 2011.
Well, we're not sure about the Tiger shortstop situation. You know what I mean?
You know, that's another thing. There's a lot. I heard talk today that Porcello is being called about. You know, National League teams are calling about Porcello. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about shipping him out?
Well, if you get a good shortstop, you know what I mean, for Porcello, I think it would be interesting. But
You know
why
what?
would
I got kind of a different angle on this.
I do too, a little bit here.
If you get a different shortstop and keep Porcello, I think that's the most beneficial thing because Porcello is a ground ball pitcher, and I think he was, he was victim to poor defense. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that Porcello, you look at how he pitches, and Porcello adds depth to that Tigers rotation.
Yep.
And in my view, though he did not play as much as he should have in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think Porcello adds that much needed depth to the Tigers rotation, and I think that he needs to stay in Detroit. I think
He's still very, very
he's
young.
still very, very young and still very, very valuable.
So, who I'd like to see go, though, you know, if Porcello left and we got something good, I wouldn't be that sad. But Bosch and Peralta, I wouldn't mind saying goodbye to.
Well, yeah, Brendan Bosch. I mean,
Peralta did do some production
Peralta did
this
do
year.
some damage.
He's kind of an every other year kind of guy.
But he's
so
a
you'd
hit and miss
think-
player. That's
Right.
what.
But his defense
It's limited range. I mean, like that
Very.
scares you.
definitely does, especially with Cabrera right there, who
Right.
has highly limited range.
Right.
All right, so real quick before we wrap up the segment, I wanted to touch on the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Zach
Okay.
Greinke.
Not only Zach Greinke, but what in God's name are they doing? They're throwing around money like
They're the New York Yankees of the West.
they're worse. It might be worse right now.
Well, because it started all with last year once the ownership group took over from Frank McCourt. I mean, like, ever since that McCourt had to sell the team to a group led by Magic Johnson, I
Right.
think that the Dodgers really needed to, they addressed a lot of things. They got a lot of star talent. You got Hanley Ramirez. You got
Josh Beckett, Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez. You know, on top of Matt Kemp and
Andre Ethier.
And Andre
Right.
Ethier.
So that's,
That's
a
a loaded
scary, that's a loaded
star-studded
team.
lineup. But didn't that team miss the playoffs last year thanks to
they
the San
did.
Francisco
Yes,
Giants?
Yes. Don't mention their name. Not to mention they got Clayton Kershaw,
Right.
Zach Greinke.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh,
That could be a dangerous team. I think that's going to be a team that challenges
So-
the Giants.
That's my question. Can we punch button stars into the playoffs, or do you think
We
it's
might be
gonna
looking at a
little-
very similar New York-Brooklyn rivalry back in
Really?
the day. Yes. I think the reuniting of a continuation of the New York-Brooklyn rivalry and, going
Yeah.
further in Los Angeles and San Francisco.
You think it will stick? Man, you are tired.
You
Look
are
at you.
tired.
Can't you save your yawns for the commercial?
Maybe.
Jeez Louises. All right, anything else you want to throw in? News and notes, a little hot stove?
I
Anything
miss
you
the
think
past of the MLB. Just thinking about it. You talk about the Philadelphia Athletics, the New York Giants.
Jeez, you're
I
going
miss
back
the
to
Cubs.
40s here, man. What the
I
heck?
miss the Cubs.
Oh, the 40s was a great year for
You
the
miss the
Tigers.
Cubs.
I wish it would be in the World Series again.
You remember when they were in 1908? When they won it?
Yeah, it was about 110 years ago.
About 104, yeah.
I remember when they went 1947 with Jackie Robinson.
You remember that?
All those teams.
How old were you back then?
I wasn't even born yet.
And
but
I
just read
remember
a lot of history.
Steve Bartman. Steve
Steve
Bartman.
Bartman.
Wow.
What a guy he was.
Didn't you call him out once?
Yes.
No, I did.
No, he
Didn't
did.
you call him
I
out?
did, yeah.
Steve Bartman, if the invitation's out if you want to come on our show.
Well, if we can find him, does
we
anyone
can
know where he
find him,
is?
yeah.
I think I know where he's at.
Isn't he living in a
You
hole
do.
somewhere?
He's there in Chicago.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay.
Probably in the gutter somewhere.
Nope. We'll see. Who knows?
All right. Well, that'll do it for
Damn,
this
nope.
segment. When we come back, we're going to talk a little NFL football.
I know.
From all of us here at ONTV, we wish you and yours Happy Holidays!
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Yeah, welcome back to Between Taorminas. Man, I could talk MLB hot stove all day, every day.
I can talk about the history of Major League Baseball.
I can talk about Steve Bartman.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try talking about the NFL for a minute, shall we? Let's start with the Lions.
Win all day on Sunday
Quiet, Finn
night.
Hill. We all know that the Lions can't win in Green Bay. They lost again in Green Bay.
Can't win in Green Bay, can't win at home.
Yeah, we can't win at home. I don't know how it's going to be. They haven't won a game in Green Bay since 1991.
How many games have they lost in a row?
They've lost 5 in a row.
Oh, my God.
And, of course, they get a team who's lost 9 in a row this week in the Arizona Cardinals.
You know what I hope? I hope the Cardinals win.
Why?
Because I want the Lions drafting in the top 5.
They could be drafted.
Huh? Come on!
Manti Te'o would be as available.
He would look real nice in that Honolulu.
Oh, I know he
wouldn't
would. Yes.
Yes, he would.
I think the Lions are going to win on Sunday. I really do. I think
hope
that their
not.
pride. I think that their pride has been damaged to the point where they have to win for pride reasons.
So what if they went 7-9? I would be so upset.
Why?
They went
'Cause then
7-9.
they'd be drafting like 15th or something.
Well, why would you want your Detroit pride?
I'm a Lions fan. I have no pride. I haven't my whole life.
Detroit pride because I'm not a Wings fan.
When it comes to Lions pride, there's none. No one in this city has any Lions pride whatsoever.
But there's some that are big-time Lions fans.
The Lions beating the Arizona Cardinals on December 15th or whatever is
That
not
could
going to
happen,
It's going to give me zero pride. It's going to make me mad.
Why is it going to make you mad?
Because I want a good draft pick. Now that rookie salaries aren't ridiculous like they were when we got
Yeah.
Stafford and Sue and Calvin, we could actually get somebody, fit him in under the cap, and it'd be great. We need all the help we can get on defense.
Well, they need a corner that needs to be.
They need at least one corner.
They need 2 corners.
I mean, they do, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at this team. Lions are just absolutely god awful.
Two
they need to fire
safeties.
they need to fire the secondary coach. They need to fire the secondaries coach.
I think they need to fire
don't
Jim
think-
Shorts.
Oh,
You
really?
think they need to fire Jim Schwartz?
State your
Please
case.
explain.
Here's why. Because, Lions, Jim Shorts led this team to the playoffs, and then they've had some really bad losses,
Yes.
and then, just some heart-drenching losses. The reason why I think Shorts needs to go is because that Thanksgiving Day game against Houston.
One mistake.
One mistake?
Go.
Yes.
For that mistake.
Yes, I think I know who the
Okay.
Lions need to hire as their new coach.
Who?
Going to go to the college ranks,
Oh.
very high on Bo Pelini at Nebraska. I think
What?
Are you out of your
you out of
gourd?
your mind?
I think you need to be fired from the show for that one comment.
No, listen to me here. Bo Pelini's got a defensive mind.
So did
he
Jim
can-
Schwartz.
So Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, but still, I mean, but he will get on those players.
You are doing
Jim
that
Schwartz
because you're
does not-
biased in Nebraska.
Jim Schwartz does
You
not.
said that because you're biased in Nebraska.
Jim Schwartz does not. Listen to me here. Jim Schwartz does not.
He's out.
I repeat, do not. Doesn't get the respect of that defensive team. The Lions are going to be cleaning house next year anyway, especially on that end. I mean, why not get another defensive-minded coach like a Bo Pelini from Nebraska? He can really help out in the professional ranks from the college ranks.
You gotta be kidding me. Jim Schwartz does not need to go.
I don't even want to. honor your thing with the response. I don't even want to. Bo Pelini?
Why?
Oh my
Why?
God.
Why Bo Pelini?
I think both, like I just said this to you, they need a new defensive identity, and I think that
I think that Jim Schwartz needs to surround himself with better people. I don't think that Jim Schwartz should leave Detroit. I think he's a great coach. He's passionate.
Listen,
about
how about
team.
this?
He cares about those teams.
What talent, aside from Sue and like Fairley, do the Lions have on defense?
Well, I think
Not a lot of talent.
I think the biggest mistake was when they re-signed Steven Tulloch. That was a big mistake.
Well,
He's small.
He is small. He is small. Yeah, that linebacking core is not good.
And I think
What about the
makes
secondary?
sense. They need a whole new secondary
They
out
need two
there.
new safeties because what is Louis Delmas? You know, paper mache? I don't know.
Yeah.
He can't last out there.
Right.
You know, Chris Houston's a decent corner.
Yeah,
Um,
but still, I think you need to go get a better corner.
okay, how about this, though? All they invested in the offense, second-round pick, first-round pick. You know,
Titus Young will be
Matthew
gone.
Stafford, Calvin Johnson,
Titus Young.
you know, Javid Best, Mikel Ashore. What about firing Scott Linehan? Because their offense has been very underwhelming.
Yes.
Very, very likely.
I don't blame Stafford or Calvin Johnson.
I mean, Stafford's not having a good
No.
year. He's not. He must be hurt. I hope he's hurt because he doesn't look good. And if he's just not good without being hurt, then there's some trouble there, you know. But I think that offense has underperformed a whole lot.
Yes, I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you there because you look, that offense is. If you look at it, really, it's only Calvin Johnson
Yeah.
that Stafford's passing it to. It could be the offense.
They don't have a true number 2 receiver. You know, Titus Young bailed out on him.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Nate got
that's
hurt.
true.
Nate got hurt,
Nate
sure.
Burleson got hurt,
But
yep.
still, if you're okay, look at like let's take Drew Brees as an example. You would say an elite quarterback, yes?
Yes.
Look who he throws the ball to. 7th-round pick, 7th-round pick, 6th-round pick, undrafted free agent.
Tom
and he
Brady
turns
does
him
the
into
same thing.
Tom Brady, elite quarterback. Peyton Manning, elite quarterback. That's what you draft Stafford #1 overall. You expect him to be an elite quarterback. So he should be able to
Stafford's
pass.
not the problem in Detroit, though.
You know what? I think,
not
you know,
bad.
that Sunday night game, he missed that Chris Durham guy ran some bad routes, yes. Stafford was underthrowing, overthrowing.
Look at the
he
weather,
doesn't
though.
look right.
The weather though was not the greatest either.
Is
Snowy.
that why he fumbled the ball and the Packers, took it to the house?
It could possibly be
Well,
that.
that's definitely why.
It's possibly because you look at. I mean, those conditions were slippery there in Green Bay.
They are. But you know what?
Now I wanna make
He's a
excuses.
pro. He's
Yeah, I
a
know.
pro. And look at him last year, 41 touchdown passes. He's not even at 20 this year.
Makes you wonder. Was last year a fluke?
That's
last
why
year
we
was
need
a
to keep Schwartz around one more year. You know what I mean? I think Schwartz gets one
I
more
think
year.
Schwartz.
If he doesn't make the playoffs next year, you can can him. The Lions probably won't, but you could.
I think you need a new voice over there.
Not Bo Pelini.
Yeah, Bo Pelini. Who's gonna listen to that little rat? Bo Pelini. Come on.
I think you do it because you like Nebraska. That's
Well,
why.
I think Bo Pelini makes perfect sense for this team.
Why not get John L. Smith? John L.
Yeah,
or
go
Brady-
get John L. Smith.
or
What about
Brady
Bobby
Hope.
Petrino?
You know, Bobby Petrino did get a job this
Yeah, Western
Yeah,
Kentucky.
Western Kentucky.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
All right, any other NFL things we want to talk about here? There's
The bounty case got Paul Tagliabue threw that case out.
Sure.
Great
that
win
was
for
great.
New Orleans.
Did they get their coach back?
No,
No.
They'll
they
wait till
don't.
next year.
Right, so that stinks.
They won't make the playoffs. Though.
You want to look at, the playoff picture's really starting to shape up right now. Who are your teams? Give me 2 teams from each conference that you think.
I think the
Really have a
Super Bowl
chance.
might be Green Bay and New England. New England's playing very well right now, and I think Green Bay's the class of the NFC.
Okay, what about San Fran and what about
I think it's gonna be San
Denver.
Fran. I think it's gonna be San Fran.
No, Denver's not convincing.
I think it's gonna be San Francisco and Baltimore. in
Baltimore?
the
Baltimore?
playoffs. Yep. I think Baltimore is going to beat New England. They're going to be motivated. I think the Ravens are going to go in the Foxborough and beat the Patriots.
Could happen.
They have done it
They've
before.
done it before.
They have done it before.
Jeez, this is some shoddy sports analysis, whatever. Baltimore?
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
Did you see who they just lost to? I can't remember who, but it wasn't somebody good. I can't remember. Who'd they lose to this week? Cleveland or something? I don't know. All right, whatever. You're checked out. Go take a nap. All right, we're gonna go to a commercial. Hopefully, we'll wake this guy up. Knock some sense into him. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Between Taorminas, where Sammy has no idea what he's talking about and has completely lost his mind. Is the medication getting to you?
No.
Come on. How many fingers am I holding up?
4.
Oh, you got it right. All right. Dragons basketball.
Yep. 3-0 in boys.
Let's see that graphic. Dragons basketball.
Probably
There it
Dragon
is.
Football.
The Dragon football helmet. All right, so let's talk a little off-season Dragons football here. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Dragons are 3-0.
Well, we can bring that up a little bit because I mean it was
They make any trades, getting waiver wire
because
moves?
the Dragons have got quite a bit of football players that are on the team this year. You got Chaz Miller, Jeremy King. I mean those guys are.
That green.
Yep, that green. They're doing well. I mean they're 3-0.
Right.
They
What's
My
impressed you
15
the
over
most?
Ferndale. Well, what's really
Early
impressed
season.
me has
Early
been,
season.
even though it's early, but I've been really impressed with the guard play because
Okay.
you got to look at it. They've been taking care of the basketball a lot better. The boys have, Zach Green, of course, starting for a couple games for DeMonte Cruz.
Yeah.
Cruz came back yesterday against Ferndale. He had 6 points last night. I think if they keep the turnover values down, I think it's going to be a good season.
One thing that impresses me about the Dragons this year, you can go to that bench. There's no rest. There's no drop off.
Kind of like the Pistons, right?
Kind of,
Pistons
yes.
have a
Kind-
drop-off.
Well,
Just kidding. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I'm talking about in terms of like,
You
back-
can roll out. It's
well,
you
I'm
can
talking
roll
about
out a
no
good bench.
I'm talking about you can use your bench and they're going to give you some really good minutes and they're going
Sure.
to score some points for you. There's no drop off this year.
Right.
I've noticed that I watched them play against Oxford on Friday. It was just there's no drop off, and that's the thing that impresses me the most because the Dragons haven't exactly been as far as like hasn't had the depth filled
Right.
like this team has.
Right.
And
Well,
the thing is,
also,
they're all
the
good.
schedule, they really, Oxford, they played, Ferndale's a decent team they beat. That's
Right.
going to be an good team. That'll be a decent team. Oxford, I think they'll be good in the gold, but Lapeer East is not very good. And they still got to play Andover and they got to play Groves. That's I'll be very curious to see how they do against Romeo. And then you have the break. Then you got Clarkston, Adams, and Detroit Country J. Those are going to be those
also
4
got
games.
Seaholm as well.
And Seaholm, yeah.
Seaholm,
Those 5 games are going to be very, very critical to the
Crucial.
season.
I mean, that's a tough stretch right there because you look at Clarkston. Probably they have had a couple of impressive wins, but they're just as deep. They're pretty good. You've got Adams, who's got a good guard,
Two
good
guards,
big.
yeah, two
Detroit Country Day, traditionally a powerhouse. Romeo, very physical team. And then you open up league play against Seaholm. That ain't going to be easy.
Nope.
All sounds pretty good to me.
Girls got their first win last night.
We don't talk about girls on this show.
quiet.
The girls are working
I'm
hard.
just kidding. That was a
Girls are working
joke.
hard.
I love.
Yeah, they're 1-4 right now. I mean,
Yeah.
but they got a big game Friday against Linden.
Yep, that'll be fun.
Go Lady Dragons.
Yeah,
All right, who's up for the call-outs?
I'll go first.
Ant, what do you have to say?
Well, I go around. This summer I had a very interesting 2012. I needed help from some friends. I was fortunate enough to get help from some of my friends in both, in both personal and in friendship support. One guy, however, he didn't give me the support. Ben Knight, why?
Ugh.
Why? I know you're bodybuilding.
Ugh.
It's simple. You need it. Where were you when I needed you? I mean, it hurt me. It hurt me that you weren't there for me when I needed you most. Yeah, I could talk to you once in a while on Facebook, but I mean, same time, I mean, why don't take my calls anymore? What's up with you, man? What changed? You know? It's just sad. I mean, Ben, where have you been? You know? I miss you. I haven't seen you in a few months, ever since the Lake Orion Clarkson football game, which I don't know how you got sideline passes for that. But
Probably
Ben,
arm wrestled somebody.
Maybe.
Ben, it's just, my goodness, my friend. I mean, I don't see you. I don't talk to you in a while. When are you going to contact me again? When are we going to talk live? All right, I'm done.
You guys should do lunch.
Well, of course, my call out this week, of course, has been he's a Dragon announcer
Oh, boy.
at games. He's a teacher at Lake Orion High School, and he's even on the Orion Neighborhood Television Board.
Don't be surprised if our show's banned next week.
Nope. This guy's name is Roger Smith. Roger Smith, what?
Oh, boy.
Let's look at it here with this thing here. Yeah, I sit down, I do the clock. I asked to do the music. What? You said my music was illegal. My music was not illegal! You know, I mean, like, I could play the music. I wanted to play the Imperial March so bad on Friday. On Friday! And then, of course, another thing, of course, my brother asked you if we could promote our show on ONTV. You say no! Why? Explain to me that! Explain to me why you don't do that!
He said ONTV wasn't there.
Is that what he said?
That's lame.
That is the lamest comment I've seen. Jeez! Are you kidding me? Are you?
Highest rated show in Orion. You can't
Yeah,
get promotion.
highway showing. We don't get named. We don't get recognized.
Neither football or
Either football or basketball. I'm disappointed with you. I am. I can't believe you do this. Jeez. Please.
Oh,
Oh
boy.
my goodness.
God help us.
Did you know he wanted to add me on Facebook one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. Now he's not. I don't know how he's gonna deal with me on Tuesday.
Well, it's not
What
going to be
about
pretty.
me on Friday?
You guys are in a lot of trouble.
What about you?
I don't think our show's going to be on next week. Thanks for joining our last show. Good night. No, just
No,
kidding.
just kidding.
Just kidding.
No, we'll be back next week.
Hope so.
Got special Christmas show next week.
Oh, yeah.
Got
I
Christmas show, and
understand.
in 2 weeks we got the special call-out show.
Sure. I understand Santa's going to be here for the next episode.
Might be.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I heard.
You heard?
I think he's bringing Rudolph, too.
Oh, that should be
I
fun.
hope he doesn't give me coal.
Huh?
Hope he doesn't give me coal.
He doesn't give you coal?
hope
After the
he
Bo
doesn't give me
Pelini
coal.
thing, yeah, you should get Cole for
After
that.
all these call-outs,
Yeah.
you know, you're on a lot of people's naughty list.
Yeah, that's sure you are.
All right, any other final words in the sports world you want to chime in on here real quick?
Well, with college football bowl games start very soon.
Yeah.
Also college basketball, Oakland.
Sure,
You know,
there.
Oakland, Michigan State.
I think I'm a
Michigan
better
Central.
announcer than Roger Smith. Period.
Oh no,
Wow.
oh boy, oh that's tough.
Yep.
Egads.
Yeah. That's a scary thing. You better be joking. Oh no. Yeah.
You're firm on that
You're
one.
firm,
Wow,
yes.
Okay, all right, well, that was our last episode. Rest in peace between Taorminas.
Yeah,
Good night,
just
everybody.
kidding. Just kidding. Bye, everyone.